Today, we will talk about London, England, historical gems, top 10 places to visit in London. Whether you're keen to brush up on your history knowledge at the Tower of London, tour the home of the monarchy at Buckingham Palace, or check out one of the city's many art galleries, London isn't short on things to do. 10. Get your art fix at Tate Britain and Tate Modern. Art lovers cannot visit London without touring its most impressive art museums, the two Tates. Located on opposite sides of the Thames, Tate Britain and Tate Modern together comprise one of the world's most important art collections. The original gallery opened in 1897 as the basis of a national collection of significant British art, and continued to make acquisitions, needing more space to properly display its collections. The end result was the establishment of Tate Britain in Millbank on the north side of the Thames, as home to its permanent collection of historic British paintings. 9. Journey to the top of the Shard. Since it opened in 2012, the Shard has taken its place as one of the most recognizable and most visited landmarks in London. Standing 1,016 feet tall and encompassing some 95 stories, this remarkable structure is so named for its resemblance to a shard of glass. Yet, while it dominates the skyline south of the River Thames, its pleasing design doesn't seem at all out of place when seen next to neighbors such as Tower Bridge. In addition to its office space on the lower levels, the Shard is home to a stunning Shangri-La hotel and 3 superb restaurants, all boasting some of the most incredible views over London. For those not staying here, the uppermost levels consist of a choice of viewing platforms, indoor and outdoor. 8. Wander around Piccadilly Circus and Trafalgar Square. Two of London's best-known tourist spots, Piccadilly Circus and Trafalgar Square, lie not far apart and mark the gateway to Soho, London's lively theatre and entertainment district. The walk from one to the other is truly enjoyable, lined with eclectic boutiques, tasty cafes, ice cream shops, and winding laneways evoking a bygone era when only horses and buggies traipsed through these historic streets. Trafalgar Square was built to commemorate Lord Horatio Nelson's victory over the French and Spanish fleets at Trafalgar in 1805. 7. Tour the art displays at the Victoria and Albert Museum. The Victoria and Albert Museum, aka the V&A, is part of a South Kensington-based group of museums that includes the Natural History Museum and Science Museum. Founded in 1852, the V&A covers close to 13 acres and contains 145 galleries spanning some 5,000 years of art and related artifacts. Exhibits include ceramics and glass, textiles and costumes, silver and jewelry, ironwork, sculpture, prints and photos, and are conveniently arranged into 4 main categories: Asia, furniture, textiles and fashion, sculpture, metalwork, ceramics and glass, and word and image. 6. Get creative at the National Gallery. It's almost impossible to visit London without catching a glimpse of the impressive National Gallery. This iconic column museum is set at the edge of Trafalgar Square, home to incredible masterpieces that make it one of the best attractions in London. Ranking among the top art museums in the world, London's National Gallery represents an almost complete survey of European painting from 1260 until 1920. The museum's greatest strengths are in its collections of Dutch masters and Italian schools of the 15th and 16th centuries. You can visit our website to discover exclusive discounts and book your next flight, hotel, car rental, or holiday. Our comprehensive travel guide packages ensure you make the most of every adventure. Book and travel smarter. You can find the link in the description below the video. 5. Big Ben and the Houses of Parliament. Nothing screams London more emphatically than the 318-foot tower housing the giant clock and its resounding bell known as Big Ben. It's as iconic a landmark as Tower Bridge, and the tolling of Big Ben is known throughout the world as the time signal of the BBC. Below it, stretching along the Thames, are the Houses of Parliament, the seat of Britain's government for many centuries. It was also once the site of the Royal Westminster Palace, occupied by William the Conqueror. The best view of the Parliament buildings can be had by crossing Westminster Bridge and looking back. Or turn left after crossing the bridge and walk along the path towards the Sea Life London Aquarium. a fun spot to take kids. Gather your crew along the wall for a perfect photo with Big Ben in the background. 4. Get cultured at the British Museum. Displaying one of the world's finest collections of antiquities, the British Museum contains more than 13 million artifacts from the ancient world. With priceless objects from Assyria, Babylonia, China, Europe, and elsewhere, it's hard to know where to begin in this expansive attraction. Most tourists head first for the museum's most famous exhibits: the controversial Elgin marbles from the Parthenon, the Rosetta Stone, the colossal bust of Ramesses II, the Egyptian mummies, and the spectacular hoard of 4th century Roman silver known as the Mildenhall treasure. In addition to a well-stocked on-site bookshop boasting an exhaustive array of titles on ancient history, archaeology, and art history, there's a shop selling kids' games and souvenirs, along with one that sells replica sculptures and jewelry. 3. Beat the crowds. Take a morning stroll across Tower Bridge. Located adjacent the Tower of London, Tower Bridge features 2 huge towers rising 200 feet above the River Thames. This is one of London's best-known and most photographed landmarks. While fascinating behind-the-scenes tours are available, you can easily walk across the bridge from the Tower of London. For the best tower views, as well as a glimpse of HMS Belfast and London Bridge, which many mistakenly believe Tower Bridge to be, find a spot midway across. While it can be crowded, especially around sunset, an early morning arrival before the throngs of tourists get there is well worth the effort. 2. See the crown jewels at the Tower of London. From prison to palace, treasure vault to private zoo, the magnificent Tower of London has fulfilled many different roles over the centuries. One of Britain's most iconic structures, this spectacular World Heritage Site offers hours of fascination for visitors curious about the country's rich history, so much of which happened here. Inside the massive White Tower, built in 1078 by William the Conqueror, is the 17th century line of kings with its remarkable displays of royal armaments and armor. Other highlights include the famous Crown Jewels exhibition, the Beefeaters, the Royal Mint, and gruesome exhibits about the executions that took place on the grounds. 1. Visit Buckingham Palace and watch the changing of the guard. One of Britain's most iconic buildings, Buckingham Palace is also the scene of London's most popular display of pomp and ceremony, the changing of the guard. Drawing crowds at 11:30 a.m. most days, regardless of the season, this colorful display of precision marching and music also takes place at St. James's Palace, one of the top free things to do in London. You can then follow the band along the Mall as they march between sites. What do you think of our video? Let me know in the comment section below. Before you go, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching.